Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking through the Surging Sparks updates, a new collection box dropping in Walmart in Canada, some new gym promos cards which are going to be exclusive to Japan, and we also have some market updates on 151 with prices absolutely skyrocketing. Now, if y'all are wondering why my voice is sounding this way, I've actually been really sick the past 2 days, had a test the last day. Linear algebra was absolutely feeling down the whole entire week, but yeah, so I'm actually really excited though to get back to making videos and show y'all what we have coming up. So let's just get to it. So as you see, we have Supercharged Breaker, the Pikachu, half of Surging Sparks, but we have some new art rares and full arts for the set, and even one incredible special illustration rare. So let's go and take a look at it. Again, if I say art rare, it's also interchangeable with illustration rare. It's just the difference between Japanese and English, but no, they're the same thing. But anyway, so here we go. We have the Vivian from Supercharged Breaker. We have a pretty photorealistic, I'd say, artwork of Vivian. It almost looks like some of those Ditto cards from Delta Species where they would make this like clay molding of a Pokemon and then toss them in a realistic scenario. And then next up we also have the special illustration rare, one that I went absolutely crazy for when I first saw it. It's actually a stellar type card, so you can see, the multicolored helmet on Hydreigon, and we can also see the rainbow sort of border on these cards, and I think it's really cool how you can see the three heads rearing, and it looks absolutely sensational with all of the sparkly dust that's super colorful. And we also have a regular version of the card here on the left, which is just a regular stellar Hydreigon. But yeah, so super cool. We're adding this to two other sensational special illustration rares in this set, the Pikachu and the Milotic. Next up, we have two art rares. One is going to be the Spiel art rare. It evolves into Walrein. It was introduced during the Hoenn era, so that would be Gen 3. And I gotta say, this is probably one of the bigger Spiel cards to exist. Is it Spiel or Spiel? I think it's Spiel. And then we have a Cerulege card. Gotta say, not too shabby. Pretty nice card, very colorful. But I have to say, of this and the Armor Rouge, I like the Armor Rouge more. But as a Pokemon, I like Cerulege more. So we'll have to see. Maybe this card will look even more sensational in person. But yeah, it's really pretty nice, solid artwork. Spiel is just a chill one. Just one of those cards that just gave a Pokemon a little bit more light when it does not have enough artworks doing it justice. Next up, we also have the two full art trainers from Supercharged Breaker. One is this dude, he's the head of the Blue Academy, and his name is Serrano. And we also have Jasmine on the left, the Olivine gym leader from Johto, who also shows up once in a while in, I think she actually showed up particularly in Diamond and Pearl, right after Ash finished his 7th gym battle. Eighth gym battle, my bad. So yeah, these are the two main full arts. We'll have to see. There's 3 special illustration rares, I believe, or a few more special illustration rares. I don't know the quantity. Still have to come out. Presumably, there will be a special illustration rare for one of these two, if not both. We'll have to see, and then hopefully at least one more Pokemon, so we'll see. And then we also have 2 art rares that have come out, which is going to include this Fanfi. It's kind of just jumping around in this almost Sahara desert-like background, and we have 2 Donphan just walking along. It looks like they're just going in a procession along the sort of wasteland sort of desert area. And then we also have this Kecleon, which actually features multiple of them, if you can see them. There's one here, one down here, another over here. So yeah, I can see 5. Maybe there are more and I'm just missing it. But yeah, so pretty cool. This one's actually kind of transparent. Next up, we have the Legendary Warriors Premium Collection, which is going to be an exclusive product that's coming out in Canada for now. We'll see if it comes out in the US and other places, but it's been spotted in Walmart. It's going to feature 14 Sword and Shield packs with a Jumbo Zacian V and then 2 Zamazenta and Zacian V's regular size. This is going to include, as far as I can see, packs including Lost Origin, Silver Tempest, Brilliant Stars, and Astral Radiance. Looks like there is more Lost Origin and Silver Tempest than the other 2. But it reminds me of those heavy hitters from Costco. So really, it's up to you, because this is like an almost $90 product. You'll have to choose between the 2. I would say get the Costco one. That one goes for $50. Definitely a better deal. But if you don't have a Costco membership, then this is definitely a good product to get your hands on, especially as Sword and Shield products are getting harder and harder to find. Alright, now we're moving on to the gym promos. We have ourselves a few of them listed here. There are a couple other comments. I really just added these other two on the right to give you guys a gist of how the stamp looks on regular cards. But the only main one, the EX we've seen so far, is this Rabska on the left. Pretty dang nice for Rabska. Pretty much underwhelming Pokemon in my opinion, but decent artwork. And I'm a sucker for the stamp cards, so I love that. And then we're gonna look at some insane price jumps from 151, including the Charizard, Dragonair, and Pikachu. So let's head on over to TCG Player. I'll take y'all through the newest changes in the prices of 151. Alright, so we are on TCG Player, as you can see, and we're going to take a look at some of the Scarlet and Violet 151 cards and see how much they have jumped up from a month ago. There has been substantial gains for many of these cards. Particularly, we have the Charizard, which, let's switch over. Make sure you do this when you're in TCG Player. Click into the cards and check if you are seeing the graph for the near mint or the lightly played. But yeah, so let's go for a 1 year timeline. This card has been out for about that long. So 151 did release in the fall time of 2023, which is why we have about a 1 year timeline to examine these cards. But as you can see, this card was never really shy of $100, but it has jumped up and down quite frequently between the price, I would say, 117 to about 102. And it's just had that sort of dance in between. But you can see it's really taken off since September 2nd, and it's just climbed exponentially. We're at $156 now for this card. If you look at the recent sales as well, you'll see that there's some cards selling for $160. I think this might be the Japanese, yeah, so ignore this one. We have one for $160, $150, $163. Generally, it is moving upwards, and if we take a look at some of the listings, we'll actually see that there's one going for $245, and there are no other listings, so this is pretty much the only one you can buy on TCG Player, which is insane. So really driving the price up for the Charizard. The purchases have been reasonably balanced. They have been going up incrementally, unlike with the Greninja, where there was just some sort of situation where some people were just buying them and then selling them for higher prices, which is what drove it up in the first place. This looks like a more organic increase in value, minus this one horrendous listing with not really realistic pricing. This doesn't make sense at all. But yeah, so I'd say 150 is pretty much how the price of the Charizard has been moving. Probably end up at 170. I was always thinking this card is so undervalued for the #1 card in one of the most iconic sets in the past few years. So this is going to be a timeless set in the future. No question. This is all of Generation 1, the Pokemon we all love, and this card is literally the creme de la creme of the entire set, so no wonder it's going up, especially when the Greninja's retailing for $300. But if we go back to the general page, we can see slight movements in the other SARs, not substantial, but at least a little bit. We see a general upward trend moving from $43 all the way to $54 for the Blastoise. And you can see over the past 6 months, we have really seen an upward trend. If we're looking at release time, this is definitely going to be higher, obviously, because that's just generally true for Pokemon. But if you look at the past 6 months, it's just constantly gone up, almost like a Nvidia stock. It just continues to move up at a generally upward trajectory. Not saying it doesn't have drops. When it drops, it's always the best time to pick it up, y'all. But you shouldn't be feeling like you have to make an analysis of the set itself and the card. For instance, this Blastoise is part of 151. Already a huge point for it. Second of all, it is the iconic water type starter final evolution. The card has a sensational glimmer, and it is a wonderfully deep blue card. It just has an unreal look and art to it when you see it in person. That all combined together made it a really great card to get. And so, it's shown in the market over a 34% gain in value. If we also look at the Venusaur, we have a similar sort of trajectory where it has been going up, but it has had a bigger jump than the Blastoise in a single go. So we're seeing it go for about $50 now when it was going for about $40, not even a month ago, or about a month ago, which is crazy to see. But if we see the 6 months horizon, it's had less of an overall upward trajectory because it's had a 29% gain instead of a 34%. But yeah, that's what the three main special illustration rares. Zapdos has had a milder gain for sure. compared to the other two, but still gain nonetheless. But particularly, I want to talk about the Squirtle. So as you all know, the Charmander was going absolutely nuts, but this Squirtle has actually had a bit of a funny sort of uh, funny past few days, honestly. It's been going up quite a lot. I mean, it was going for $24. We are now seeing it literally go for $10 more. 32% gain. Absolutely crazy. And the Charmander is going for $32. In lightly played, but let's actually check the near mint. The reason I was kind of surprised a few days ago when I saw this Charmander, and I wanted to report on it, but I was just feeling so down. But I was just gonna say that this Charmander had a significant dip in value right around here. Now it's back to its $40 range, and it shows no signs of slowing down, especially with the overall 151 market going up. Now, that's not to say these cards might not come back down if there's a substantial reprint, but we already saw there was a decent reprint that came out just about a month or two ago with booster bundles, I believe, and if I'm not mistaken, mini tins. And the market absolutely just gobbled it up. They are gone, and the cards never really had substantial dips like we saw with we've seen with some other products in the past, some other sets. So this just shows the resiliency of 151. We also have some cards like the Ivysaur, the War Turtle, which are continuously making $20 moves. But the Dragonair in particular, I wanted to speak about this. This has had a tremendous gain, particularly if we're looking over the past 3 months, and particularly since September. It's really been around that $16 range, and then it just flew up to $23. 46% gain. Absolutely sensational. This was one of my favorite cards upon release. I am a sucker for the water cards. Pokemon in the water, they look sensational. So I was thinking perhaps it's just my bias, but I'm liking seeing this card actually getting the love it deserves. And again, we have Pikachu. So generally, you're seeing these cards are just flying up. Pikachu still at a reasonable price, I think. It's literally the starter, the unwritten starter. But I just want to say, y'all, if you want to pick up some of these cards from 151, I'd say go for the art rares that are still not catching too much attention, because generally when people are trying to finish master sets, they need to collect all of them. Some of these cards will invariably manage to go up just because they are part of the 151 set. Now, I'm not saying they're going to go to the $30-$40 range, but I'm definitely saying they will become more desirable as time goes on. We have the Mr. Mime, Ammonite, Tangela, Caterpie, and Nidoking, as well as the Machoke, which I believe is on the next page. But yeah, usually don't see regular EXs go for more than $1 or $2, but we see the Blastoise, the Mew, and the Charizard have pretty decent value. And especially the full arts. Usually full arts go for $2. In this set, we see there are some substantially valued ones. So I'd say if y'all are not certain about collecting cards because you're not sure about the timing, I would say the best set to keep sealed in terms of products that have come up so far is definitely some 151 ETBs or UPCs if you want to have proper value and growth moving forward. But yeah, that's all for today, y'all. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you'd like to see a market review and update on next. I would love to go over any Scarlet and Violet set. If you want me to go over alternate arts from the Sword and Shield era, I'd be happy to deliver that too. So just comment down below. Let me know what y'all are thinking, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.